when we were growing up as kids, I have the impression that we were supposed to have a plan. You're going to study this, then this, then this, then this. And essentially, you're going to choose one of those things and you're going to study for the rest of your life. And then you're going to work on that for the rest of your life. 8 hours a day for the rest of your life, and that's it. Then you may as well live some days outside of your work by essentially either doing another work, two works, why not at the same day, and some days when you're going to just take off from work and then return again. And that seems to be a very rigid way of living, and especially putting the beauty and fluidity in life that essentially everything is supposed to go more freely. We are making it go intensely, one-sidedly this way, which is progression, which is work, which is production, and all kind of buzzwords essentially that suggest don't sit around, you lazy dog, don't do things that you're not supposed not to be doing, and either study, read, exercise, or move on and progress, or whatever this means essentially. Well, for some atomic targets and goals, then yes, it makes sense. But if those things are enforced upon you, then it's a bit of a drag. And so I have the impression that we are exploring, we are improving, I should say, we are evolving technology at such rapid speeds, and essentially everything becomes so quick, so small in distance and time, to where the difference between then and now is essentially non-existent. And we do this for what? We're doing this for us to live. Instead of us working for the things that we are supposed to have ready by today's standards and technology, we are doing it quick in order for us to do other things more quick, in order for us to get lost to insanity, I suppose. Because if you are constantly busying yourself with things that it's supposed to make your life easier, then life becomes a drag because you don't want to live this thing for the rest of your life, simply because you're doing one thing quick to get to the another, and another, and another, and another. And our entire day is supposed to be this quick, when at the same time, the speed is for what? If we're all getting crazy, if this is insufferable, if this causes mental illness, maybe we should stop doing this. And I personally believe that we can do both in a way. But the thing is that I'm not saying this to be lazy. I'm saying this to be more spontaneous, to be more free, literally free. I want to do this, so I'm doing this. I don't want to do that, and I'm not doing that. I want to eat like this because I want to. I don't want to eat like this, and I don't want to, and I won't do it. And so the thing is, it's so refreshing to start deciding to say no to things that you don't necessarily agree with, to start thinking for yourself, to start saying, you know what, work is great to some extent, but not for the entire thing, not my entire life for sure. And there are much more beautiful moments outside of work or outside of modern society and technology and all those things. We have forgotten essentially how to treat each other, in my opinion. From 2020 and beyond, we have forgotten how relationships are supposed to be working. We have also forgotten how to be connected with nature. We are so into our homes, into our houses. Almost everybody needs some sun to cast its light upon us. And it's so upside down in my eyes, simply because we're supposed to make our life easier and more and bigger for us, a bigger extension of life, longer. We should be living longer with this. And I have the impression that people are more divided than ever. People are lonelier than ever, of course, and are unhealthy, mentally ill. And are we supposed to be happy for a technology that essentially caused that? It's a weird mix, but I'm going to say that just like I'm using technology to make a cute video right now to talk to more people in the world, I think that this is a relatively healthy way to use technology. Instead of just using technology to have you completely distracted and constantly under the phone scrolling and not want to interact with people, not want to go out in nature, to go out, let the sun, and give him a smile. And it's almost sad. It's almost sad that we are working so hard for what? Supposedly for ourselves, but it's not for ourselves. It is for us to get paid and get some money. That money essentially is nothing. It's an abstraction. Who cares about money? If you're supposed to get what you want, if someone gets what if everybody was able to get what they want without money, who cares about money? So you're supposed to take money for you to get what you want to some degree. And the thing is that there are many people that have this so-called money but are not particularly happy or satisfied. And that indeed feels like a hole in your chest. I think I've been there. There was a time in my life where I want to get ahead in that domain, but when I realized what I was going to do with it, I didn't really have a plan. And so my thing is, I don't really think that I want the constant pressure of see how the market goes and all those things, because I'm much more satisfied by living a stress-free life, essentially, in general terms. Basically do the things that I always want to do, such as me talking to the camera and saying about my nonsense, saying about life, saying about everything that is cruel and tough can be also viewed as beautiful and meaningful, and facing adversity and thinking about your people at hard times essentially is very powerful. And those things have nothing to do with the modern world, because the modern world is able to deliver everything but that. Essentially, the world can give you huge amounts of food, huge amounts of drinks, energy drinks, sweets, games, I don't know what else. Everything material that is essentially pretty much superficial, except for the things that we are designed to crave, which is, of course, relationships, love, kindness, appreciation from others, meaningful labor, and saying that you provide to your people, and thinking about your future, want to start a family or whatever. Those things are beautiful. I don't think they will ever going to stop being beautiful. And if this ever changes, well, it is the downfall of humanity, trying to work itself up for itself, only to realize that those things are not so meaningful to humanity itself. In which case, it has a tendency to make the humans who live inside that world full of technology, that's supposed to be humans, it's gonna make humans want to self-harm themselves. It's very, I don't know, it feels in a way right or addictive to harm yourself, especially if you think that you so-called deserve it. Because if you deserve it, of course you're gonna get it more. And we have, in a way, disturbed our sense of what it means to be alive and what is supposed to be natural, what's supposed to be beautiful and respectful and graceful. And I think this is all an retaliation of not doing what we're supposed to be doing. For example, you are supposed to eat healthy, and you should to some extent. And because you're supposed to eat healthy, many people as well eat shit, eat horribly, I'm sorry, for retaliation and because they don't want to be in schedule all the time, because this sounds so rigid and one-dimensional. When people are multi-dimensional, and some people are more multi-dimensional than others, and basically we are supposed to make our society a world for us to be living freely, to choose our own multi-dimensions without being a burden to each other. And basically nobody is allowed to be the way he or she wants, because we are supposed to move on and progress and be better than before or something like that. When life really doesn't have any rules, we make it the rules. And the ones who really get the best out of life are the ones who either don't play the rules at all or they play the rules very well. And probably the biggest winners are the ones who get what they want out of life. They're not too crazy. They're satisfied with their life, whether it is full of stress or anxiety or not. They just say that what they're doing with their lives, it's worth its risk, its pain. And basically that's another reason to live, basically. Essentially, if you have an existence where your suffering is worth enduring it, then that's also a beautiful thing to live and experience. And so being spontaneous is the original point. So I just want to say that it's okay to be spontaneous, of course. We don't really have any other choice. And if people start getting crazier and crazier and crazier over time, it's because they want to be spontaneous and they don't want to necessarily follow the script and they want to do the thing that they want. And ironically, when someone tries to do exactly as he's told, he's eventually going to turn crazy. But if there's a person that is allowed, that can't do what he wants, follows other people's leads, and he is supposed to be doing his own labor and work and all those stuff, while at the same time simultaneously does it with his charm, does it with his freedom, does it with his beautiful charisma, and lives how he wants and allows himself to be a little bit crazy, ironically this person is going to be mentally much more stable. It's just like an absolute rigid bridge. Essentially, if it's a bridge that you're trying to maintain it as stable as possible by force, essentially, it is going to collapse one day with too much weight upon it. And in that same way, if you have another bridge that can go smoothly with the weight and go sometimes with the waves that is below it, basically that bridge is going to be much more stable, simply because it goes around with everything it is thrown at it. It is thrown at it, and it doesn't have to fight for constant resistance. And here we are in a world where it encourages you to be in a way crazy, but also doesn't. It's mixed. The standards have changed, and so do people. And spontaneity gives some relief, I should say. And so this is gonna be my humble, cute little video for today. And I think this is gonna be for this one. And I hope to see you again. Okay? So we'll see you. I'm gonna see you again, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you.